What's up, Yugi Tubers? Damien Cluster coming to you from the dungeon. Gonna be doing a Chaos TG deck profile for you today. It's actually the deck that I ran in the Stebin Cup on short-circuited Olympians. Link will be in the description. This was my second place prize. I lost out to Aaron McLeod, who was running Chaos Stun. My personal opinion, it was the best match that I had on, throughout the entire tournament. Came down to game 3 and it was very, very close. Regardless, still took second. Got this awesome mat from Stebin himself. This deck really hasn't changed much since the first profile I did. It's come a long ways with a few alters. It OTKs when I need it to, honestly. I barely have any dead draws, unless, of course, Dual Network screws me over. But real life, I barely have any dead draws, so we're just going to get right into it. Monsters. Got TG Striker. His TG counterpart, Warwolf. I run 3 copies. Next, 2 Cyber Magician. With him, you can synchro from your hand for a TG synchro, so it's limitless possibilities. Well, it's not really limited because you really only have Rush Rhino. I'm running 2 in this build, which kind of seems a little dumb, running 2 Magicians, but the Magicians are for light fodder and for just to thin out the deck for search material. Alterations start here. Run 2 Junk Synchron. Helps with level 5s. For his targets, 2 Raikou, which help thin out the deck a little bit. Only 1 Doppel Warrior. And a Dandelion. Get into what most people call the Chaos portion of this deck. I run 2 Effect Veiler. 2 TGU. Kind of weird to see in a TG deck, but I actually have popped off quite a few plays. Even though you can't synchro with its target that it special summons, you can use it for Scrap Dragon, which a lot of people really don't like, and Sangan, which I really hope doesn't get hit by this new ban list. I'm not putting any thought or effort or alterations into my deck until the actual list is posted. The rumor mill is the rumor mill. And then the last 3, Chaos Sorcerer, Gores, and the card itself. The whole reason why I chose this mat, other than the fact that it's royal purple and it looks fucking amazing, is BLS. Spells. I run very, very few spells in this deck, actually. Monster count, I think, is 22 or 23, which only leaves room for, 17 more spell or traps. But, this is what I got. 2 Forbidden Lance. I'll use these to get over, honestly, to protect my monsters or to get over an opponent's higher attack point monster. 2 MST. Why 2? Well, why not 2? 1 is kind of just like a waste, and 2, it gives you a better chance of drawing it. I use Wonder Magician quite a bit, so that's another version of MST for me. The last 4, run Reinforcement of the Army, search out Synchron, Striker, Doppel Warrior, Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, and Heavy Storm. All those are self-explanatory, I'm not even going to explain it. Into the traps. Run 2 Deep Prisons, 2 Bribes, 2 Compulse, 2 Solemn Warning, and the last 2 I run a Mirror Force and TG1 EMI. I took out the other EMI because it was turning into a dead draw, and Mirror Force actually helps protect me a little bit better. Get into the extra. First off, got some awesome sleeves from SCO's own Angela Kent. Thank you very much for that, love. Appreciate it. For the TGU Xyz is what I excuse me, what I like to use are Wind Up Zen Mains, obviously, and Giga Brilliant. There's actually a lot of plays that I've used to get Chaos monsters out by, say you have BLS or Chaos Sorcerer first hand in a TGU, get this guy out, and then, you know, they're obviously going to pop it, and then you have your fodder right there. Run 2 Wonder Magicians, as I mentioned. Their ability to sync on the opponent's turn helps, what else? Say pop, and when that monster's destroyed, you can actually, draw a card, which is nice. It doesn't even have to be sent to the grave, just so long as it dictates that that card is destroyed. Next, X-Saber Wayne. He's my replacement for Catastor, seeing as though I can't get one in real life. I'm not too concerned. I don't really use Catastor too much. His effect, though, when he's synchro summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower warrior type monster from your hand. Good to go into Black Rose if needed with Striker, or into any level 8 that is in this deck. Good old buddy Junk Warrior. He's obviously in there for another level 5 target. This deck helps, or this deck is basically to get Blade Blaster out, even though it's usually not done. It never really needs to be done. Final Synchro level 5 is TG Hyper Librarian for obvious reasons. I run 3 level 6. They actually don't get used very often, so I think I'm going to drop one of them. First off is Flamevale. You pronounce the name. I have no idea how the hell to pronounce it, so you can do it yourself. When he attacks an opponent's face-down defense position monster or face-up, you can inflict piercing damage. Whenever he inflicts damage to your opponent, he gains 300 attack. He starts off at 2100, so inflict damage 24, and so on and so forth. Iron Chain, help thin out their deck a little bit. Hopefully mill out some of their other stronger cards, such as BLS, Chaos Sorcerer. You see them in almost every deck anymore. In Gaia Knight, I don't actually use him. I've never actually had to use him. I always have some type of strong monster on the field. If not, my back row manages to save me, so he's just kind of there just in case. Only one level 7, Black Rose Dragon. I've actually been able to use its second ability, changing a face-up defense position monster by removing a plant-type monster from your graveyard and reducing its attack to 0 until the end phase. That's actually pretty nice to use. In level 8s, I run 3. Stardust Dragon, which should be obvious. Thought Ruler Archfiend. When you're losing life points, you're losing the duel. And this card has 2700 attack, and when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you gain that monster's original attack to your life points, which is nice. Plus, when a psychic-type monster is targeted, he is psychic. By a spell or trap card effect, you can pay 1000 life points and negate it. Why not? Scrap Dragon, obvious reasons. He's broke with TGs. You destroy one of your TGs to use his effect, and you get the TG's effect at the end phase. That's kind of nice. And then TG Blade Blaster. I didn't get to use him, honestly, at all during the tournament, if I remember correctly, which was sad. But it's whatever. He was there in case I needed him, and, you know, he's just a badass card altogether. Well, that is the TG deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's what got me second in the tournament, got me second at locals a few weeks ago. I'm going to try out locals again this weekend, see how well it does, and possibly find some new builds. Hope you enjoyed it. Like it if you want. I really don't care. Nobody really ever pays attention anyways. It's all good. I do this for fun. Peace.